Good afternoon, everybody. It is Thursday, which means it is time for Teaching Thursdays. Now, Teaching Thursdays is normally only for people who are in the mentorship circle. However, every so often I do one of these publicly so that other people can learn cool shit. So, we have the cool shit that is going to be done today, which is we're going to learn how to cast a circle, a magic circle. Okay. Now, this is a standard pagan practice that you can see in a lot of different pagans' paths. Okay. Whether it happens to be a, Wiccan path or a general, open pagan path, most pagan ceremonies will have some version of this circle. So that's what we're going to learn how to do today. So welcome, Melissa, Carrie. I see several of you other ones on here as well. Feel free to say hi. Remember that this is public, and I will be putting the chat up on the screen here. So yes, we are going to learn how to cast a circle. Pretty darn good information, I think, because if you go participating in any public ritual anywhere, they're going to want to do a circle. Now, we talked about before, what is a circle? And a circle is traditionally a kind of consecrating a sacred space in which to do your rituals. You can do this in a group. You can do this personally. You can fully ritualize it like we're about to talk about the actual ritual circle casting, or you can internalize it and do it on a personal basis, okay? But it is generally prescribed that a circle is a magical space that you are marking out, either physically, energetically, or both, preferably both in this case, in which to do your workings, if you want to worship or commune with the gods, commune with spirits, divination, anything that you're working on the metaphysical scene with. So, we've established that we want to create a circle. So the first thing we need to start doing is think about how we're going to mark this stuff out, okay? Now, we're going to assume that we're actually going to do a physical area circle casting. So we're doing the metaphysical and the physical at the same time. So we want to think about how we want to lay this out. So you think about how big a radius you want your circle to have, okay? And deciding, you can think radius or diameter. Diameter, of course, is the full across the circle, the whole, cut the circle in half, and that line is the diameter. The radius is how far it is the point from the center, okay? So we need to decide, first of all, are you going to be placing your altar at one side of the circle or in the center? Here on the screen, we see a diagram of an altar at the center. Then you need to start thinking about which direction you want your altar to face. Now, sometimes people will have their altar facing east. Other times, people will have their altar facing north, as you see here. Traditionally, you want to start in either the north or the east, and we'll explain that in a little while. But we definitely, want to decide whether you're going to have a altar at one side of the circle or whether your altar is going to be at the center of the circle. Now, it just depends on your space. For example, I have my altar permanently set up in my office, okay? And my altar is on the witch's cabinet facing the north-facing wall. So my altar is facing north, much like you see here in this diagram. However, if you want to do a ceremony kind of thing to where you're having a lot of people join, sometimes it's better to have an altar in the center, as we're seeing here, okay, so that people can kind of all go around it and everybody's equal to it. So it just kind of depends on your room layout. All right. Now, I personally, as I said, like beginning with north. And the reason why I like beginning with north is representative of the element of earth. And earth being the root chakra, also, it's a great place. It's about foundations, about having your feet firmly on the ground. And, we always hear about Mother Earth. The Earth is our mother, connecting with the Earth, grounding. So I feel like the best place to start is by starting in the north on the grounding side with the element of Earth. So now we've talked about, setting up our circle area, our physical circle area. Now we got to think about, well, what are we going to do on our altar? Now, altars can be very personal. It can be as cluttered or as Spartan as you want. It can represent and have the different elements of whatever you would like on it. But what I have here is a little bit of some of the things that are on a traditional altar setup. Now, in this case, we have the god on the left and the goddess on the right, whereas some people will actually switch that. This is normally my preferred, unless, like, for example, circumstances dictate that I need to place things in a different way. But is it 100% has to be that way? No, it's just traditional, okay? So what we have here is we have a representation of the masculine divinity and the feminine divinity, okay, and a candle to represent each. And the candles, I'll explain their significance here in a minute when we go into the candles. But normally you want to have a candle for the masculine divinity and the feminine divinity. Now you can also have a third candle for that of spirit, which is the non-binary, if you want to call it, divinity. The more technical term would be non-gendered or all-gendered divinity. So the spirit of the universe, which has all genders and no genders kind of put into it, the great I am, if you will, however you want to kind of frame that out, but it's that energy that contains all of everything. Many times we call it spirit, the universe, whatever. Some people just call that God instead of the God. It's up to you. But I also typically have something on my altar that's representative of spirit. And in that case, what you see here on the altar is the pentacle, which if you look into the pentacle is, as we see here, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, each of those points combined in one. So when we have the pentacle on the altar, we are actually putting a representation of all those things: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Now, you will also see many times people put different representations on their altar, that this is their representation of earth, this is their representation of air, fire, water. Okay, so incense could be either air or fire. Asame is also either air or fire. Wand is normally fire. Those, the asame and the wand, we'll discuss here in a minute too about their further significance. The bowl of water, of course, being water itself. The bowl with salt is normally protection and also a representative of the element of earth. Cakes can also be earth. In this case, an incense or a feather or something could be air. And the bell is normally for clearing the air and the energies around us, okay? Cup is also, cup and cakes can be part of a Wiccan ritual as well. So those are also alternative things that you can have on your altar if you're wanting to participate in any of those. Also, the water and salt can be part of a Wiccan ritual as well. So these are just different things, but altars can be anything. Typically for me, though, I just have things that are representative to me of spirit, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and things that I am doing for my energetic workings. So I will have different things on the altar depending on what workings I am trying to do in my magic circle or with my rituals, okay? You can decorate it for the seasons. It's extremely personal. Don't let anybody tell you there's a wrong way to do this. There is really no wrong way. Your altar is yours. If you don't have a god and goddess on there, fucking fine. Who cares? Do what you will. All right. Now, one of the major things for casting a circle, tools for casting a circle, is going to be some kind of a pointer. Okay. So most people use an athame. An athame is a ritual dagger. It does not have to be sharp. It does not need to be able to be cut, be able to cut. It is an energetic tool, okay? Now, just because it can cut and it is sharp, well, I would just say be careful, but that's not a requirement to have or not have. You can use a magic wand. Anything that is long, pointy, and you can draw in the air with. It has like a point to it. It's consider your magical stylus. Don't have a wand? Maybe use a feather. Don't have a feather? Maybe use a stick for a wand. Don't have any of it? Guess what? Your best magic wand is your pointy finger. What you point at, you can draw in the air with your pointy finger. Okay? This is just something to kind of maybe grasp onto and really focus your energy through. Many people look at this and it's spelled A-T-H-A-M-E. They think, oh, that's an A-theme. That's an A-theme. Atham, A-thame, Athame is how it is pronounced, Athame. So if you kind of go up into somebody's circle, don't go up and say, oh, that's a cool A-theme. That's a cool A-theme. No, just say, hey, that's a cool Athame. Don't ask to handle it, okay? Just don't. It's theirs. It's their energy. Unless it is a shared coven tool or something like that, in which case, when you join a coven, they'll tell you what the rules are on their particular tool handling. But if you're going into somebody else's circle, somebody else's altar, whatever, don't touch the shit on their altar. Don't ask to touch the shit on their altar. Well, you might could ask, depending on how well you know them, but, basically don't touch the shit on the altar without express direct permission. And if you do happen to ask and you see that little face that they make before they tell you sure, just say, oh, that's fine, never mind, okay? Err on the side of no touchy. So, again, like I said, we are going to go through actually casting the circle. Now, there are 4 points on a circle. Wait a second, Shiya. What? Points on a circle? Yes. These are the cardinal direction points. These are the points in which you would be looking at compass. If you hold up that round compass, what are the points there? North, south, east, and west, right? So that's where we are focusing on when we are casting our circle. Now, when we are looking at a circle direction and what the points are, we have north, which is for air, east, which is for earth, south, which is for fire, and west, which is for water. Spirit is considered to be contained within the circle. Spirit is the heart of the circle because that is where the magical energy is kept. So we have air, earth, fire, water. Oh, and you know what? Why am I saying earth is for air? What? This is a wrong diagram. I just realized this. North is earth. They have got this messed up. North is earth and east is air. Why do they have north and east messed up? I just was reading it off. So north is actually earth and east is air. Okay, so be aware. Good grief. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the ritual of casting a circle. Now, the first thing that you do, remember what I said, I like the north-facing altar. Okay, so on that north-facing altar, we want to start with going to Earth. Okay, now Earth is typically represented by a green candle. Now, many times they will have candles set up at each of these cardinal points. So if we're going north, starting with Earth, Earth is normally representative of a green candle. So, in going to, first of all, starting at the north, you walk to the north, and every time you're walking in a circle to create a circle, you are walking clockwise. This is known as walking docile. Okay, you walk around the circle clockwise. Clockwise invokes counterclockwise, otherwise known as widdershins, or going to the left side, going counterclockwise, that banishes. So we're invoking a circle. So we're going to start at the north. And normally when you're at the north, you go over to the north part of the northmost part of the circle and you light your candle and you call upon the element of earth to come and attend your circle. So one of the things that you want to do, first of all, is you treat this like, hey, we're inviting some friends over. We're inviting our earth friend to come and join us. Okay, but we also want our earth friends' help. Now, sometimes people call this the guardians of the watchtowers of the north. The guardians of the north, the watchtowers of the north, the spirits of the north, the element of the north, however you will. But you go to the north, and the first thing you do is say, hey, earth. Okay, so like if you were creating a ritual and really wanting to make it sound fancy, you can do one of the old invocations, which is, hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north. We bring you blessings and bid you welcome. Oh, that was a nice way of saying hi. Okay. What? Yeah. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north. We bring you blessings. So, hey, here, thank you, and we bid you welcome. So I'm giving you something. I'm giving you my goodwill. I'm telling you, hey, come on. And then we're going to say, we're invoking you. We want to do whatever an invocation. We're welcoming you. I want to welcome you. I want to ask you to come and help us out. Attend this circle. I need you to guard this section of the circle, will you? Okay, north, element of the earth. Guard this section of the circle. Meanwhile, you have some special gifts, north, okay? So we're going to ask you to bring in your special gifts and remind us about your special gifts and help us work in attunement with your special gifts. And we're going to ask for you to attend. We're going to ask for you to guard, and we're going to ask for you to give us your help, okay? So meanwhile, we're really glad you're here again. Welcome. So how would that sound like in a ritualized thing? All right, so here's just me off the cuff doing an invocation for the element of earth in the northern part of the circle. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north, ye guardians of earth. We bring you blessings and bid you welcome. Come and enter into our sacred circle. Attend us, assist us, bring us the element and awareness of earth. Help us remember our roots, our nourishment within the mother. Help us remember the earth and the mother's wound from which we receive our nourishment. Help us stand strong on your foundation, remembering our grounding and remembering that the earth upon which we walk is sacred and blessed. We call upon you to bring your energy to the circle, to guard our circle and participate with us herein. Keep us from harm. Hail and welcome. We've just called the quarter of the north. Now, at this point, you light your damn candle. Okay, now is that a really fancy way of doing it? Yeah, probably. I've spent too many years casting some circles, man. I will just off the cuff come up with a fancy ass way to call a quarter. All right. Now, can you write this out to where somebody's writing it? Yeah. Especially if you're doing a group ritual and people are uncomfortable, turning around and putting them on the spot and say, hey, will you call the quarter of the north? And they'll be like, what do you want me to say? But if you hand it to them, I've had complete novices, especially for like hand fastings and weddings and stuff that don't have a clue of this is their first time ever being in or casting a circle. You give them a little something to write out, and tell them, hey, if you feel like adding anything into it, go for it. But here's a little something written out, okay? So yes, we've called the north. We've lit our candle. And now we're going to go to the right, clockwise, okay, over to the east. Okay, going over to the east. Now the east is air, as we talked about, okay? So east is air. And we're going to represent air with the color of yellow. Now we're going to do the same thing over here to air. We're going to turn around and say, hey, how you doing? Please come and help us out and remind us of all the wonderful things of air, okay? And give us your energy, hang out with us, all this other stuff. So if you're keeping with form, we're going to go to air over there, and we're going to say, hail to the guardians of east, ye elements of air. We bring you blessings and bid you welcome. Help us feel the breath of knowledge. Help us remember that it is in our minds that we must first see and understand and manifest. Clear the cobwebs of our mind with the breath of air as you come and enter into our circle. Please be with us, guard us, and assist us in our workings here tonight. May we fly upon the realm of knowledge. Hail, ye elements of air, and welcome. And then you light your yellow candle. Yes, I'm still doing all this shit right off the cuff. Like I said, too many years of casting a damn circle. All right, so we're going to go again. And as we are walking around the circle, we are using our little pointy thing. Remember our pointy thing? Our pointy thing happens, in this case, we're using an athame. And we're using our pointy thing, and we're literally pointing at on the ground where the edge of our energetic circle is. Okay? So we've lit our yellow candle, and we need to go around now to the south, okay? Now the south is representative of fire. Can you see the color behind our diagram here? What color is that? Red. Yes, fire, red, passion, okay? Now if we understand, fire is passion, warmth, creation, destruction, all of these things. So that's what we're going to add into our invocation. Again, we're going to say, hey, we're going to ask them to come. We're going to ask them to guard and help and participate, okay? So as we stand facing the south, and as we're doing all these invocations, we're facing the element, we're facing the direction. I don't care if everybody else is in the circle and you have your back to them. You are facing outward to that point of the compass. So we're facing outward to the south, looking at the south and addressing the south. And we say, hail to the element of fire, or actually, hail to the watchtowers of the south, you elements of fire. Come and be welcome, accept our blessings, and attend the circle with us. Bring us your light. Bring us your warmth. Bring us your passion. Help us remember that fire can be creative or destructive, that it is both a blessing and a curse. It is something to be used in wisdom. And help us to remember your love, your passion. Help us to learn to be the light and the warmth. Help us to be wise in its use. Come and join us in the circle. Help us with our workings and guard us as we participate in these workings. Hail and welcome. And we light our candle in the south. Once again, taking our sharp pointy thing, our athame. Okay, we're going to walk around now to the final point. Who knows what the final point is? Oh my goodness. Could it be the west? All right, so we're going to go to the west, and you can tell what color behind our little pointy athame that's drawing out our circle. It's blue. Oh my gosh, because the west is water. Okay, so we're going to go to the west, staring out at the west, and we are going to do our same formula. Hail to the watchtowers of the west, ye lords of water. We bid you welcome and give you blessings. Please bring to us the emotions that we need to be one with one another. Cleanse us of our negative emotions and help us rule our own emotions within. Help us bless others in our emotional well-being and help us cleanse ourselves of any emotions which are not ours. Bring us that refreshment which is water. Cleanse our souls. Let us feel warm and nestled and welcome in the womb waters of the mother. Let us just feel that beautiful emotional energy as you come and guard our circle and participate in our workings. Hail and welcome. And we light up our blue candle. Now, we don't complete that. We don't just immediately go right to the altar at this point, okay? Especially if our altar's in the center. All right, where's our center altar? Here's our center altar picture. We don't go just traipsing straight to the altar. We want to actually make a full circle, which is going to walk around again back to the north, all right, and go back over to the north. And from there, we're going to walk clockwise around to get to the point of our altar where we need to. All right, so the main thing is, don't ever walk counterclockwise when you're in the circle until you're ready to get rid of it. Okay, because we're creating. So let's say that our altar is in the center as we have here. We're going to go around from the north, traveling around, and let's say that our altar is facing the east. So we're going to travel around, kind of walking around. You can continue to point your little sharp pointy thing, whether it be your athame, your wand, your finger, whatever, to the kind of energetically enforcing that circle around you, and walk towards the east, back towards the south, around back towards the west, and then from the west directly approach up to the altar so that you're facing the east. Okay? You don't ever want to walk counterclockwise. Now, let's say that you've cast your circle. Now, we haven't finished casting our circle yet. Now we're back at our altar. Sorry, we haven't finished our circle. So we've called our cardinal points now. But now we want to go back. We're facing our altar. Okay. And we kind of talked about what we had on our altar there. And we have a couple of candles there. We have a God candle and a goddess candle. So now we want to ask the divine elements into our circle. Now that we have earth, air, fire, and water protecting our circle, we want to ask the divine elements into our circle. I like to begin with the God candle. Okay. So what we do is we have a gold candle because we typically see the God element as golden, representative of the sun element. Okay, gold. So we're gonna have a gold candle. You can have a yellow candle, you can even have a white candle, but typically it's gold. So you have a gold candle and you're going to do the same thing. We're gonna say yo to the God, whatever God we're going to call, okay? To the God. Let's call Odin. Everybody knows who Odin is, okay? The All-Father. We're going to call upon the God, specifically the God Odin. Now, I typically just go the divine masculine, the divine feminine. I don't call a particular God. I let the masculine show up in all of its aspects, or the feminine show up in all of its aspects. But we're just going to go ahead and we're going to call out specifically to Odin, the All-Father, to come and join our circle. So, first thing we're going to do is say, hey, blessings and welcome. So we say, hail to the God Odin, All-Father, hail and welcome. Please come. We invite you to our circle. Come and enter, attend, and assist and protect us. Bring these elements that we need from you, specifically All-Father Odin. We know that you sacrificed an eye and hung 9 days on the tree of Yggdrasil to gain knowledge and wisdom. Please bring your knowledge and wisdom. Let your Hunan and Munan ravens see for us the things that we cannot see, and let them whisper their wisdom to our ears. We call upon you now to attend and assist us in our ritual today. Hail and welcome. And then we light our yellow or gold or whatever representative candle of the god. Okay? Now we're going to go on into the goddess. Okay? Now on the goddess, I am going to call upon one of the witch's favorites, Hecate. Everybody loves Hecate. Why? Because she is a three-faced goddess, and she's, many times known as the witch's goddess. I like Aradia, Queen of the Witches, even though she's technically not a goddess. She's representative of all the witches goddess, or just the moon goddess, but in this case, we are going to call upon Hecate. Okay. Now, I also do like a goddess chant sometimes. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, and Ana. That's a traditional goddess chant. You're like, what? Say that again real slowly. Look up chant of the goddess on like Spotify or something, and you'll see it. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, and Ana. Okay, you'll hear that. And sorry, I know that kind of conflicts with the background music, but hey. So we're going to look towards the goddess, our goddess representation on the altar, and our silver candle, because the goddess is normally represented by the moon, which is that beautiful, lovely silver. Okay, so we'll have a silver candle for the goddess, and we're going to say, Blessed Goddess, hail and welcome. We give you blessings, Blessed Hecate. We call upon you now to come and witness and assist us in this place, which is not a place where time does not exist. Hecate, bring your three faces to us, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Your giving, your loving, your nurturing, your playfulness, and that fierce warrior goddess to protect us and be with us. Bring your aspects to us to help us, give us power, and protect us right now in this circle. So please be here with us. We hail you and we welcome you, goddess. And then we light our goddess candle. Yay! Now, the traditional thing is we need to declare this circle open. Now, if you want to do a candle to spirit and to the divine, you can have a candle, a white candle, a unity candle, a non-representative candle, and you can say, with that, whatever candle you happen to want to choose for that, you can say, I call upon the spirit of the universe, the spirit of all. Hail, and we bring you blessings. We ask that you bring your blessings, as we know that all things are interconnected and all gods and all goddesses are one. So are we all one energy. So do we all come together as one. Help us understand your unity and our unique places within that which is the whole. Be with us now, Spirit. Hail and welcome, and light your candle for the divine, the spirit of all. Now, at this point, you normally turn around and decide that you are going to announce that this circle is now cast. So, the traditional thing that you would say in casting a circle is, here now as the circle is cast, the place which is not a place, where time does not exist. May all be welcome here. May all who are here be enter into one accord, in perfect love and in perfect trust. And then you can say, hey, we've started, and everybody can go, huzzah, or hail and welcome, or participate in whatever way you feel. Is there a wrong way? No. Okay, if you're in a particular place that always does it one particular way and you do it another way, I would default to the way that they do it. Or, if they're comfortable saying, hey, you do it the way you want, you can go, huzzah, or you can go, so mote it be, or you can go, whatever you want to say, hey, this circle is cast. Okay, the circle is cast. All right. Now, there's a great song by Robert Gass and the Wings of Song called The Circle is Cast. And it's great. And you actually have a vocal representation by the earth. This is her body. Okay. And it's really cool. And then it gets into and it sounds like a real gospel song. I mean, it's a circle casting gospel song. And the circle is cast. The circle is cast. And they go nuts. And it's like, and then you got the goddess chant going. And man, I get goose freaking bumps every time I listen to that song. It's again, Robert Gass and On the Wings of Song. I really, 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 really freaking love it. It is From the Goddess, I think, is the name of the album that it's on. But it's fan-freaking-tastic. Highly recommend it. Now that your circle is cast, what happens? Well, one of the etiquettes of a circle is once that circle is cast, there is an invisible line going around you because you've walked around. Now, you can continue to walk around in circles. Some people walk around the circle 3 times with their pointy stick, their athame, their sword, whatever they're doing to completely cast the circle. But there is an invisible line on that ground. Do not cross. Now, it might be visible, it might be invisible. Somebody might have marked it out with tape, chalk, salt, rocks, whatever. Okay, here's a cool little circle that's marked out with, landscaping that's in the background here. Here's a cool little circle that's marked out with some candles. Okay, here's a circle that is marked out with some sticks and candles. Okay, so you can mark it out, or you can just have, that's the invisible line. Some people have a round rug, and that's where they do their circle lines. But you don't cross the line. Now, what happens if I gotta get the bathroom? Priestess, I gotta go pee. I really gotta go bad. Do you want me to pee in the circle? No, please do not pee in the circle, young acolyte. Let me go over to a point in the circle, normally a logical point in the circle, not at one of the cardinal points. It's one of the sub points, not at direct north, south, east, or west, but one of the kind of semi-quarter points. And you literally take your stick, the pointy, whatever you used to create your circle. Let's say you used your athame as your pointy to create the circle. You go over with your athame, and like a big dork, you draw a big door. Okay? And as you're doing this, you're drawing a door, an opening in the circle, going from right to left. Remember, banishing. We're opening up. We're creating a little doorway in the circle, going from right to left. We're going backwards. And go on out this circle, energetic circle door. And we're literally envisioning a section of that circle being temporarily removed. When the person exits through that doorway, then you draw it from left to right, again going clockwise, left to right, to seal the doorway again. And again, when they're like, teacher, can I come back in the circle now? I already went pee and I feel much better now. Thank you. Go back over to it. And again, from right to left, open the door. From left to right, close the door. And you're just drawing a big kind of energetic opening in the air. This whole time, remember, visualization is key. Feel the energy leaving. The circle itself is a 360-degree bubble that you are happily ensconced in, where you are protected by earth, air, fire, water. Spirit of all God and Goddess are all here kind of helping you, okay? From that point now, you can come together, you can raise power, you can dance around. Now you can create a cone of power, dancing around the circle to the right, going around the circle, chanting, dancing, having a good time, raising some power, putting your workings on your altar, casting some spells, doing some meditations, doing some teaching. I've been in more than a few circles where we cast a full circle because we're working with divination and stuff like that. So we cast a protective circle and do our teaching inside of the deep circle. But let's say we've had a good time and we've had our time, our magical time, and now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. Okay? So what do? We start going backwards. Okay, we first go to our spirit candle and we say, hey spirit, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Same thing you would do with a guest that was leaving. Thank you. We appreciate you. Have a great night or a great day or whatever. So you go up to the candle and the spirit candle and you say, spirit of all, spirit of the universe, thank you for coming. Thank you for attending. We really felt your power tonight. It was freaking awesome. Thank you so much. Please accept our heartfelt love and appreciation and stay with us in our heart spirit. Meanwhile, hail and farewell, and put out your candle. Some people believe that, okay, they're going to blow out the candle. And some people are like, oh, don't you dare blow out the candle. That is bad. You should snuff it with a candle snuffer. You know what? Whatever works for you. Okay, there's a case to be made for both, and that's a whole nother debate for a whole nother time. Then you go over to your silver candle. Goddess, thank you for coming. Thank you for allowing us to feel your energy. Thank you for attending. Thank you for giving your wisdom. Thank you for everything that you are. We will dismiss you and, hail and farewell. And everybody can say, hail and farewell. And you blow out your silver candle. Same thing, go over to God. Hey, to the God, thanks for coming. We really appreciate your insights, Odin, and your vision and the insights that you gave us from Hunan and Moonin. And just, it was really chill to hang out with you, Odin. Appreciate it. So, hail and farewell. And everybody goes, hail and farewell. And you blow your candle out. Okay. Then you start walking the opposite direction. You go and start out at the west. Okay. And you're going to start walking counterclockwise. Because remember, counterclockwise is to banish. So we are releasing the circle. Okay. So we're going to go up to the west and say, hail to the watchtowers of the west, ye lords of water. Thank you so much for cleansing us, for being with us, for protecting us, for holding us in your hearts and your energy. May we hold your emotional peace within us from this point going forward as we go into our daily lives. Hail and farewell. And everybody goes, hail and farewell. And you blow out your candle or snuff out your candle if you just are going to yell at me for blowing candles out, okay? Don't yell at me for blowing out candles. I can blow out a candle if I want to. Okay. Then you go over to the south. And again, hail to you, watch Lords of the South, you Lords of Fire. Thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing passion and energy and creativity and your spark of life and your passion and all of that. I appreciate you coming here. May you be blessed as you go forward and help us stay within our hearts and our bodies, that fire of passion, that knowledge, that creation, in the knowledge that we are powerful and can be used for creation or destruction. Hail and farewell. And everybody goes, hail and farewell. And you blow out that candle. Then you go over to the east and say, watchtowers of the east, ye lords of air, thank you for just this cool, wonderful breath of fresh air in our brains, for helping us understand and process the knowledge which you have brought us, for giving us the downloads that you've brought us. Thank you for being there and just being the winds of change and helping us see and understand change. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you very much. May you be blessed as you go forward and help us keep, as we go into our daily lives, a clear mind and an open mind so that we may always learn as you of the Lords of the East have taught us. Hail and farewell. And everybody goes, hail and farewell. And you go and blow out that candle. And somebody in the background goes, you really shouldn't blow out those candles. You know, you should snuff them. And you go, and you go over to the north I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with that. Then you go again, walking counterclockwise over to the north, the first candle that you lit, remember? And you say, hail to the watchtowers of the north, ye lords of earth. Thank you for being our foundation. Thank you for being solid underneath our feet. Thank you for reminding us of the nurturing and the wisdom and of our roots and of our past. Help us continue to walk firm-footed as we go into our daily lives. Help us to carry the magic and remember that the magic is always with us and that we can be grounded in every moment of every day. Thank you so much for hanging out and helping us. Hail and farewell. And everybody goes, hail and farewell. And you go, and you walk around again, counterclockwise, going around back to, and we're going to remember, we had the center altar here, and walk around, going back to your altar, going counterclockwise against the direction of a clock, going widdershins to the left. You go back to your altar and you face your congregants, and you can walk or you can look around to everybody. And one of the most famous ways of letting a circle go is that you declare at this point that the circle is open. And my favorite declaration is, may the circle be open but unbroken. May the peace of the God and the goddess be forever in your heart. For Mary did we meet, and Mary shall we part, and Mary shall we meet again. Blessed be y'all. And the circle is open. And now we have our potluck. If you're in a kind of whatever gathering and everybody gets together, and one of the best grounding activities to do after really being up in an energetic circle and really getting all of that awesome vibe going, and now you've got your high from being in a circle, doing your teaching, it's food time, y'all. Somebody call for pizza? Sure. Potluck? Got it. All right, let's ground out with a little bit of food and fellowship, because that's what it's about when you're in a public ritual or doing a public ritual. Having a little food and fellowship is awesome. Now, do you need to go through all of this shit every time you're doing some working? No, you don't have to go through a full casting. You can actually just, have, like what I do is go up to my little north-facing altar, and I put my little circle together in my head, and my circle that I envision encompasses my entire witch's room. And I look and I say, hey, I call upon earth, air, fire, and water, north, east, south, and west. Come and be a part of my circle right now. Come and be welcome. Come and protect. Hail and welcome. I call upon the Lord and Lady, the God and Goddess of all, the Spirit of the universe. Come and be a part of this right now. Be here with me and cast my circle. Hail and welcome. Boom, I'm done. All right. You can visualize it. You can formalize it. You can even just do all this shit in your head. Does it have to be said out loud? Mommy and Daddy are in the other room and they don't know I'm a witch, and I really don't want to be saying all this weird shit out loud. That's okay. You can say it in your head, because you know what? Spirit can hear you. They're gods and goddesses. If they can't hear us in their head, then they're not worthy of being a god or a goddess. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. But this is a formalized way of how to cast a circle. Now, I love doing at least when I lived in Texas, I loved going to the public circles and public rituals that were hosted by the Hearth Wisdom Store. By the way, you guys should check that out. They're in Arlington, actually, Pantego, Texas, technically, I believe it is. But they are in Arlington, Texas area. And Hearth Wisdom Store, Ancient Ways for Modern Days. Love them to death. And especially if you're anywhere in the DFW area, I highly recommend going to any of their public rituals. But their public rituals, they will have, Mamba Mira and her hubby will normally be the priest and the priestess, and they will have somebody casting each one of the quarters. They might approach somebody that they know or new people or whatever, and they will instruct as you go through, here's how to kind of go through the circle. Now, they used to have an altar that they'd stick out in the middle of their old store. I don't know if they still sometimes stick their altar out in the middle of their new store in their working space, but they, like me, have a permanent altar that's up against the wall in their learning area. Okay. And so, you would kind of sit around sometimes in a circle, sometimes kind of all facing the altar. However, but whenever you're in a public ritual, the biggest things to remember is don't walk counterclockwise until it's time to banish shit. Okay. Walk clockwise to invoke, counterclockwise to banish. So I hope you guys have enjoyed learning how to, or at least the most traditional modern way. Oh, wait a second, Shiya. Traditional modern? Yes, traditional modern way of casting a circle. And this is, when I'm saying traditional, this is what you see most traditions will use, most paths will use a variation of this type of circle casting. Whereas, not all will, but most will. So this is the most common way, I guess you could say, for modern rituals, modern gatherings to cast a circle together. So thank you for participating. If you guys felt the energy while we were casting that circle and while we were saying hail and farewell, there's a reason I went through all of those goodbyes and the invocations as I did, because yes, indeed, I was pulling that energy in so that not only did you have a verbal experience, but if you were feeling things on an energetic level, I'll bet you felt that circle being cast intentionally around me and possibly around you as you participated in it. And if you listen to this on the replay and really allow yourself to feel it, you'll feel that circle creating around you as you're allowing yourself to energetically visualize these castings and these releasings. So we have had our circle for the day. We shall say now, merry meet, merry part, until we merry meet again. You guys want to learn more? Check it out. LadyShiya.com/trial will get you a full month of Shiya's Mentorship Circle. Check it out for free. Hopefully you guys will come, join, and learn. We will learn all kinds of cool shit in the Mentorship Circle. And 1 month for free, again, at LadyShiya.com/trial. You can learn all kinds of things in the circle. It is a Facebook-based group. However, I am currently developing for circle members only a web-based version of my entire Book of Shadows, which will be live soon, starting off, and then will grow and grow and grow. From there, it'll be just constantly added to, and it'll be only for circle members. It'll be a hidden, must have the secret password to get into the Shiya's Book of Shadows for all those people who are in the Mentorship Circle. Meanwhile, what we already do have in place, of course, is self-paced learning and the guides. A lot of this stuff, like the tools of the trade, the candle colors and stuff like that, you will find in the Mentorship Circle. And you can learn at your own pace. I also teaching Thursday classes like this one that you just experienced. We have weekly journal prompts. We're doing 2 journal prompts per week right now. One is a shadow work journal prompt, and the other is the getting to know you, so that you can get to know yourself and get to know your circle family that's here with you. We also have exclusive guided meditations, my exclusive spell archive, special mentorship circle chats, which is basically 24/7. Somebody's on there just about. Community support, because in a circle we come together and we support one another. Everything's archived for your self-paced review. Mentorship Circle members also get free readings every Monday night live reading show. They get discounts, like, for example, on our upcoming Many Faces of Narcissism workshop series. They get half off from what everybody else is paying. Things that we learn in the mentorship circle: Reiki, empathy, spells, witchcraft, shadow work, mindfulness, astrology, dream interpretation, Reiki, and so fucking much more. And every Thursday we have classes like this, so yay. Meanwhile, you guys have an amazing week, and remember to always walk mindful, always be present in the moment.